big day on Capitol Hill. President Trump is meeting with senators today and canceling the signing of that bipartisan housing bill. Says he won't touch it until the SAVE Act is passed. So we're going to start there, kicking things off this hour with our senior congressional correspondent, Joe Khalil, on Capitol Hill. Joe, I know you've been scrambling. There's so much happening on Capitol Hill all throughout this morning and this afternoon. What's the latest, most notably, on this kind of stalled effort around the housing bill and President Trump saying he's not going to sign that until that SAVE Act gets passed?
So that was the biggest point of contention heading into this meeting President Trump had with Senate Republicans, that he was not signing this housing bill today because he is demanding that the Senate pass the Save America Act. This is not the first time President Trump has made that demand, not the first time that he's actually delayed part of his own agenda, whether it was delaying a nominee for a director of national intelligence or delaying FISA, this important national security bill, until he says he has his Save America Act passed. Now, that surprisingly did not come up very much in the meeting, we're told by senators who were inside the room, or at least as President Trump put it forward and put the idea forward, we heard there was very little pushback from Senate Republicans on that point, which is surprising because there have been several Republicans for weeks talking about how they would themselves love to see this bill become law, but that the votes are simply not there, and they're against President Trump delaying the rest of his own agenda to insist they pass the Save America Act first if the votes are not there. I also have to say there was a very heated exchange inside of that meeting between Senator Bill Cassidy, Republican who has been on the other side of President Trump on several things, and the president himself. This discussion over Iran, and we just actually, our team got Bill Cassidy just as he was leaving the meeting. He basically said, and again, this is just his side of it, that he raised objections to President Trump criticizing Cassidy and three other Republicans that voted against the president on an Iran war powers vote last night. 4 Republicans voted with Democrats. That bill essentially a symbolic sort of rebuke of the president continuing the war unless he gets approval from Congress. Senator Cassidy, in his own words, said he didn't believe the president made the case to the American public as to why the war was beneficial to the United States. Senator Cassidy says at that point, President Trump raised his voice, and Cassidy says he lost his own temper at that point. And they said that there was a real heated exchange back and forth between the two men. Several other Republican senators also confirmed that account for us as we left. So obviously a really heated moment in there between Cassidy and Trump. Again, President Trump very recently endorsed against Senator Bill Cassidy, so there is obviously some harboring bad feelings between the two men, and that carried out and played out in that closed-door meeting just now.
Yeah, Joe, you play it so well in terms of understanding all the complexities, how we got to this point of seeing, this critical piece of legislation that's been decades in the making, volley and back and forth between the Senate and the House, and make it past that, but then hit this crossroads. I know you'll keep us posted and keep a close eye on any developments. Joe Khalil on Capitol Hill. We're going to say
thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.